Okay, so today I'd like to talk about what I would consider to be the easiest way to get rid of ingrown toenails. And basically, to make a long story short, I have suffered from an ingrown toenail in this toe. I'm 40 right now. In this toe since I was a kid. And so back in the day, the 80s, I was told to bathe my feet in Epsom salts, which I regularly did, and that did absolutely nothing. It just made the skin maybe more soft or tender, or maybe more pliable, I'm not sure. And I think I was offered at one point to cut right down the middle of the toe, and then apparently it would force the nail to grow in this way or that way. And then another thing that I had done is a V cut in here, and that would apparently make the toenail grow out. But those are falsities, because the toenail actually grows up from down here. I think it's called the cuticle, I'm not sure, but anyways, the cuticle, it comes out here and grows out anyway. So it starts in the back here and pushes out. So it actually grows in a straight line. And so I taught abroad in Europe in 2004. And a student said, I was talking to him about this, that I've had lifelong issues, and he said it's the easiest answer ever. All you have to do is grow your toenail out longer than the part that the toenail is growing into. So the toenail will always push the skin out of the way. Just grow the toenail out its full length, and then cut it after that. Don't cut it shorter, otherwise that will influence the toenail to grow into the skin, or the skin to grow over the nail. And so this is 2004, and okay, thanks, a great idea, bud. And I never did anything about it until 2013. In 2013, I was in the supermarket, having just cut my toenails in the summer, and I said, you know what, I'm limping here, I'm bleeding in the toenails, something's going on, and I'm not doing it right. Why not just try that guy's philosophy? And so the way that I would cut my toenail before is sort of, I would put a wedge like this, using the nail cutters, into my nail and stop right there before the end. And then I would I'd proceed to rip the nail, and that would rip the ingrown part out of this flap of skin. And I did that for my whole life, and while it bled, it gave me relief from the ingrown toenail. And another part of the story is that my father has one of his toenails actually removed, so that was an option too. I remember it was a famous story when I was a kid about him watching it being done without any freezing or anything, and he was all proud. So that's what I was doing. So I had ripped my nail, just like I showed, and I was walking around the supermarket bleeding and in pain, and I just for a day or two, and then I decided enough's enough. I'm gonna try this guy's way. And at that time, you can see maybe in the corner here, my toe is a little bit hard. Like the skin is a little bit hard, a little bit callous, not too much, but a little bit. At the time, this flap was growing way over here. The end of it was, getting cozy from a lifetime of not being pushed around by the nail. And so whenever you touched this part here, it would hurt. No matter what, it was always painful. If I bumped it or stubbed it, it would just be excruciatingly painful. And so the skin that had grown over the course of that summer in 2013, the nail pushed and slowly moved this skin back. So this side has receded quite a bit from its position in 2013. And you can see if I pop this up, it actually goes over right to there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it goes over right to there. And you can see this is about the shortest length that I should keep my toenail. So what I was doing was I was cutting my toenails way too short. You can see I have them all really short, and I ripped them. Well, I still rip all of my other toenails because I like short toenails, but this one gave me, and my other big toe to some degree gave me problems. So all you have to do is just grow the nail out past the flap of skin, and then this is the shortest I should have my nail. Now, I haven't cut my nails in probably 2 weeks, so I actually made a mistake and cut it a hair too short last time. So you can see that my toe side looks a little bit red. But look, I can push it without any pain, and there's nothing there. I can feel it a little bit, but that's just because my toenail's a bit too short. So what's happened is that I never learned how to properly cut my toenails, and I was always cutting them too short. And all you have to do is grow this out past a certain length, and it will always, the skin is always weaker than the dense, thick nail, which is much stronger. So it will always win the battle of nail versus skin. So the skin will always recede, and the nail just eventually, I forgot to mention, when that happened, when I did grow out that nail in 2013, so it's been growing out since 2013. I mean, I cut it all the time, but I've pushed this skin back in 2013. That process of the nail pushing the skin was pretty painful. It was just as painful as when I was walking around with a bleeding side. But now I have a permanent fix. That's, no doctors, no surgeries, no drugs, no Epsom salts, no magic tricks. It's just primal. Grow your toenails out, and eventually they will grow over the top of your toe and push themselves through whatever ingrown part there is. That process of growing them out, once you've cut them too short, is painful, but we should be teaching our children how to cut their toenails properly, which is a certain length. And so, like my dad's had his ripped out. I don't think there's any sort of other solution in my case, like none of these cuts or sort of treatments or bathing or putting cream on it or anything else. Just grow the nail out, and you'll be really happy. This feels really good. The fact that I can push that and have no pain, and you can see how far that nail goes out. You can see how it would sort of have a tendency to grow into my, and you know what, right now I feel like cutting it out. I kind of have that, it just irritates me where I want to get rid of it and rip it out, but I will not give in to that temptation and just grow it out a little bit longer. And then I forgot to mention that once it does, I don't like long toenails, and so it's sharp there. I can feel that the nail, now that it's protruding out, is sharp. If I want, I can put a little bevel on there, like a little 45-degree miter angle there, or whatever, file it off. Like, I don't like these things sticking into bed sheets or whatever, touching my partner when we're sleeping. So, after it grows out past a certain point, you can cut it whatever you want. But I saw on YouTube, for instance, you slice down the sides. That's just a temporary fix. It doesn't actually, just grow the toenails out and you won't have a problem. Thanks a lot.